This is the Movie Geeks Film News Podcast Network. And you are watching... Oh, really? Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Mark from mgfn.co.uk and this is episode 2 of the Kessel Run TubeCast. That's a podcast for YouTube. Very clever. In episode 1 we spoke about the anthology movies and the directors of those anthology movies and who we thought should replace Josh Trank now that he's departed Anthology 2. I said I wanted to see Kyle Newman in the role of director and invited you all to add your weight to the conversation and click a little link. Now that link's in the description to this video as well. It says vote for Kyle. If you head down there, click it, it'll open a tweet. Just send that tweet if you believe that he should be the director. Anyway, on to episode 2, and I think we're going to stay with the anthology movies for the time being and talk about who Felicity Jones may be playing in Rogue One. Now we know when she was announced as one of the leads in Rogue One. She would be a rebel soldier, but my thoughts immediately turned to who she could be playing. Now I did write this up last week on a blog post on mgfn.co.uk. The link to that is below if you want to read that. I kind of broke it down to 3 options. 1, that she would be playing a completely new original character. 2, that she would be playing a character that come across from the new expanded universe. And 3, that she may be playing a character we already know from the original trilogy. So looking at the first and most likely option, I would imagine, she's going to play a completely original character. Now, there aren't enough female characters in Star Wars, so this is obviously going to be welcome that she could be a new character, and it adds a bit of weight to it if we don't know what happens to her. Now that applies to the expanded universe character as well, but it doesn't apply to the potential for her to be playing a character we already know from the original trilogy, because we'll kind of know what her fate is. But if she does play an original character, then she could very well lose her life in this film. Would add a bit of gravity to the situation. I would be quite keen to see that. But another option, of course, is that she's playing a character from the new expanded universe. By new expanded universe, I mean not the books or the comic books, although that is possible, but more likely that she could be a character to come across from Star Wars Rebels. Bearing in mind that they are set in the same sort of time frame, it wouldn't surprise me if she was playing one of those characters. Now, there are 2 significant female characters in Star Wars Rebels. You've got Hera, who is played by Vanessa Marshall on the TV show, and you've got the Mandalorian character on that show called Sabine Wren. Just a little bit of a side note, I do suspect Sabine might actually be Obi-Wan's daughter, but we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that in another episode. So Sabine Wren is played by Tia Sakar in the TV show, and I don't see why, if they're going to cast that character in the movies, why she couldn't come across and play that character in live action. It would make sense. She'd be the right sort of age. She's age appropriate. She has feature experience. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. But if they were going to put Felicity Jones into one of those roles, could that be where we're going to go in Star Wars Anthology Rogue One? Initially, I got quite excited thinking that she might be playing Hera, because Hera is a kick-ass pilot on the TV show, and Felicity Jones could be playing that character. She could be a pilot, and it could kick off Rogue Squadron, for all we know. If she was to play the other option, she was to play Sabine, and she's an explosives expert on the show, so that could be in keeping with a soldier in the army fighting the good fight for the rebellion. Either way, I do kind of think that they would be missing a trick if they didn't use another character, bring a character across from the TV show Rebels. They might be limiting themselves a little bit. One thing that does concern me about using Hera as the lead character is the fact that you would need to put the actress under significant prosthetic makeup. Perhaps that wouldn't be entirely practical. Now, I was called out on my original blog post when someone accused me of being xenophobic for not wanting an alien in the lead role. So I guess I should really address that. It's not about not wanting an alien in a lead role. It's about the practicalities of putting an actor or an actress through immense amounts of makeup before they start shooting at the end of their shooting day. It doesn't really seem that practical. And I think that's probably why you find most of the characters in Star Wars movies are human, or at least of human appearance, because they don't have to go through those extended sessions in the makeup chair. It lengthens their day, it limits the director's options. Perhaps that's not the way to go. Sabine, yeah, she's an option because she doesn't have an awful lot of makeup, but she is very cartoon character-like for a movie like Rogue One. So let's explore the third option. This is my favourite option. So, could Felicity Jones be playing a character from the original trilogy? Now, I think there is an argument to be made that she is, in fact, playing a character of someone we know very well from Return of the Jedi, Mon Mothma, the rebel leader. I really think there could be something to this theory. Mon Mothma had a very small part, but a very crucial part in Return of the Jedi. She referenced theft of Death Star plans, so if this is the character from Rogue One who helped steal the original Death Star plans, it would be in keeping with that characterization that she would be overseeing the assault on the second Death Star. She's a significant player within the rebellion, so maybe if it is Felicity Jones's character in Rogue One, she would have worked her way up the ranks from foot soldier to rebellion leader. I kind of like this. Age-wise, there's not a huge gap between the two. You have to be a little bit creative with the numbers there. If Felicity Jones is playing slightly older than her actual 31 years, she would be coming somewhere close to the actress that originally portrayed Mon Mothma, who was 55 when they shot Return of the Jedi. And if you said there's maybe 5 or 6 years between the events of Rogue One, the events of Return of the Jedi, you kind of have to be a bit creative with the numbers, but at the end of the day, Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith was supposedly in his 40s and Ewan McGregor was in his early 30s. So there is precedence for us being creative with our numbers when it comes to actors and characters' ages. Does it make sense? Could she be Mon Mothma? I think it could be. I think, in fact, she will be central to the story of Rogue One. In fact, I think she's the title character of Rogue One. I suspect she goes by the call sign Rogue One in the movie, and that she may, in fact, have a ship. Maybe that ship in Return of the Jedi is call sign Rogue One. We hear Admiral Akbar refer to his ship as Home One. Could Rogue One now be the title of her battleship in Return of the Jedi? If it is Rogue One, is the Rogue Squadron her fleet? Do they all answer to her? There could be something to this. I honestly think that is the answer. If you look at the recent trailer for the digital release of the Star Wars saga in iTunes on Amazon Prime, the trailer that came out randomly featured an appearance by Mon Mothma. I think you're looking at about the 1 minute 30 second mark in the trailer. There's a very short appearance from Mon Mothma. She's never been in any promotional materials for the previous HD releases. She wasn't in the Blu-ray release trailer. Just for this, are the filmmakers reminding us that this character exists, or they're reminding us that she's significant because suddenly she's going to play a huge part in the spin-off movies? I think there's something to that. So what do you think? Have your say down in the comments. Do you think we might be seeing Felicity Jones portray Mon Mothma in Star Wars Rogue One? Will that be a call sign? Do you think she could be playing a character from Rebels that's making its way into the live-action cinematic universe? Let us know in the comments. Join the conversation. I'll see you next time.